51% drop. Oh, Jesus. We're back now. I had some VPN settings. I was having trouble. Okay, I think we're back now. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy again. Okay. It's cold in here. All right. Okay, we're back. Ugh! Yeah.
So that in terms of how people are feeling about Sack Cheney and Joe, not too good, okay? As his approval rating is continuing to slip, okay? His overall approval rating is now at 37%. Right. Now, this comes as I've talked about this before. The left is turning their backs on Joe Biden because they don't like his response to the Israel/Palestine situation, okay? They don't like it. So now a lot of these young college students who, we see are clearly very passionate about this issue, they're coming out and declaring, we're not voting for Joe, right? We didn't even want to vote for you in the first place. The only reason we voted for you is because we have a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. So therefore, we're going to vote for you, not because we like you, but simply because we hate Trump. Now, again, fast forward 2 to 3 years into Biden's presidency, what people are saying, the obvious reality, considering what's going on in the world, what's going on at the border, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with crime. The Biden administration, objectively speaking, has been a disaster, okay? There's no real reason to vote for him, okay? The narrative that Orange Man bad was the biggest problem with America, and you just had to remove him from office and everything would be rainbow and roses because the adults are back in charge, turned out to be a massive lie that has cost this country dearly, okay? And again, that is showing up in the polls as Trump, again, is leading regularly in national polls and also in swing state polls as well, too.
Some key swing states, a morning consult Bloomberg poll of the top 7 swing states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, show Trump leading Biden
Arizona,
in 5.
Yeah.
5 of them, 5
That's
out of 7,
state,
while tied with Biden and Michigan at 44%, and trailing only in Nevada by 3%.
Yeah, not looking good for Biden, right? His approval rating is dropping. The national polls are showing Trump. His lead is expanding, okay? The outlier polls are actually now becoming the norm, right? The polls that, we say was an outlier. Trump is up 3 or 4 points. Nah, that's actually becoming the norm now. And even in the swing state polls, Trump is starting to dominate across the board. If the election was held today, it's starting to look more and more likely that Trump would win in a landslide victory. Now, I know that's hard for some people to believe.
And you don't think Donald Trump can beat Joe Biden?
I don't. I mean, I think that. I think that.
Would you endorse him if he is the nominee?
Well, I've already said that I signed the pledge. I'm supporting the Republican nominee. Well, for me, it is. I mean,
but I really do think that there's no logical reason or rational reason why anybody would want to vote for Joe Biden. There is no reason to vote for him in 2024. Okay, the guy is decrepit. He's falling apart, and that's what's happening to the country as well too. People live in the country experience that, and I just don't think they have any motivation to go to the polls.
Oh, come on, man. That works.
Orange Man bad is not going to be good enough in 2024. It's just not going to be, okay?
you serious? Whatever. Looks like I might have to work in silence. Okay.
So, with that being said, again, Democrats know that the writing is on the wall. At least some of them are willing to admit that out loud. So much so that you have some of them who are freaking out and running for president because of their Trump derangement syndrome. People like Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, even though he cannot be president of the United States, he's running anyways based off some cockamamie plan to try to get other people like Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer or Josh Shapiro, other Democrats, to jump in the race to take down Joe Biden, which, again, clearly is not going to work. He's jumping in the Democrat primary to take down Biden. And now you have a new guy, okay, who is jumping into the race, an actual Democrat who could cause Joe Biden some problems. He is now jumping into the race and challenging Joe Biden for president. And I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, I want to tell you guys how to protect yourself online, and that is why the sponsor of this video is Virtual Shield. Caesars Entertainment has confirmed that the social security numbers linked to the rewards players were stolen in a recent Las Vegas cyber attack. If hackers have those social security numbers, then that will put the banking and financial life of those players at a major risk. Credit cards and loans could be taken out in their names, and money may be removed from their bank accounts. Unfortunately, data breaches involving social security numbers, like this one, are no longer uncommon. This is why myself, along with tens of thousands of others, protect ourselves online with Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield gives me security with an all-in-one privacy suite that includes an industry-leading VPN that atomizes my IP address to help avoid ISP or government spying, while also preventing hackers and snoopers from seeing my online activities. Plus, I get identity theft protection, internet data removal, and much more that all work together to protect my social security number. I highly recommend Virtual Shield because you can get 60 days free right now. This means that you'll get unlimited access to the Virtual Shield VPN with 67% off lifetime discount with 60 days across unlimited devices, plus access to Virtual Shield's 24/7 VPN support with 60 days across an unlimited number of devices, and Virtual Shield 24/7 customer support so that you can ask questions if you need any help. Similar security suites go for over $400, but this one, Virtual Shield VPN, is available for 60 days free when you go to virtualshield.com/deals/BCP.
A Minnesota congressman is planning to announce his candidacy for the presidency later today.
Hi. Alpha male, Chad the alpha male. I haven't been really streaming lately.
At Amazon Freight, we know the only thing better than having a friend with a truck is having a friend with a bigger truck. And an on-demand freight network
Hope you're doing okay.
with a set of tools anyone can use. So you can choose when you want to book.
We've got some challenges, that's for sure. We're going to repair this economy, and we are going to repair America as long as we do it together.
So after much speculation, Dean Phillips is expected to file the official paperwork today. Pauline Lee live this morning for us with all of the details. Hi, Pauline.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we've told you this all week long. Phillips, who represents Minnesota's 3rd District, expected to make his official announcement later today. It'll be in New Hampshire in front of the state capitol building in Concord. Now, this comes as analytics company Ad Impacts reports that Phillips has already reserved $53,000 worth of ad time so far. Those ads beginning today in New Hampshire. So let's take a closer look at the race here. The New Hampshire primary now set tentatively for the late January, sometime in that time frame. We're told that we told you that all week long experts believe that he's got a long shot in beating President Joe Biden, but Phillips has cited polls showing that many Americans feel that President Biden is just too old to run for another term. Here's what he told CBS Mornings.
I think President Biden has done a spectacular job for our country, but it's not about the past. This is an election about the future. I will not sit still. I will not be quiet in the face of numbers that are so clearly saying that we're going to be facing an emergency next November.
Democrat.
Now, Phillips' full exclusive interview with CBS Mornings' Robert Costa is expected to air sometime later this morning.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Okay, another Democrat with a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome, like Cenk Uygur of TYT, jumping into the race simply to try to stop Trump from winning, which, again, he said in that interview there, well, you know, hey, it looks like Biden's going to lose in 2024. However, I think Biden's done a great job, right? He also said that as well, too, which, again, it's just so funny. It's like, well, if you think Biden did such a great job, or he's doing such a great job, why are you running? And he says, well, I think Biden's too old. Okay, well, again, I would tell this guy, I would give him the advice, if he actually wants to beat Biden, he needs to stop lying to the American people, talk about how great of a job Biden has done, because Biden has not done a great job, okay? So with that being said, what do I think about this, okay? I think that this guy has a long shot. However, there is a scenario that I want to talk about that could actually result in this guy actually having a chance to beat Biden. And why do I say that? Because unlike Cenk, this guy is an actual establishment Democrat who probably can raise money and get some momentum because, again, he's an actual real Democrat in Congress, not a far-left woke progressive with a failing YouTube channel. No, he's actually a real Democrat. He may get some real momentum to be able to beat Joe Biden because I think that this guy has an outside chance of actually winning New Hampshire because Joe Biden has essentially taken his name off the ballot in New Hampshire, or he's not putting his name on the ballot in the New Hampshire primaries due to wokeness. Take a look.
Tonight, 10 major candidates are on the ballot for New Hampshire's first in the nation primary. You see them here. Candidates have until the end of the day on Friday to file their paperwork. And just within the last hour, News 9 was first to report that the Biden campaign has informed the New Hampshire Democratic Party it will not put the president's name on the primary ballot. It's a move that is not unexpected, but is still a major development in the ongoing fight over first in the nation status. We are still waiting for an answer on one of the biggest questions here. When will the primary be? WMUR's Ross Ketchke is live in Manchester. And Ross, you just spoke with the Secretary of State about the upcoming primary.
Yeah, Monica, no date to circle on the calendar just yet, but New Hampshire Secretary of State David Scanlon says come the filing deadline on Friday, it should be a little bit easier to pinpoint exactly when we can expect that primary to be. He says he's also keeping an eye on a few other states to see exactly when their primaries will be. Of course, the Granite State has a law. We have to go first at least 7 days before any other primary or similar contest. All this comes as the Democratic National Committee decided to change its own calendar, putting South Carolina in the leadoff spot. Scanlon, though, is adamant that New Hampshire has both a right and a legal obligation to go first. He says he expects even more challenges like this to the first-in-the-nation primary status come 2028, when both major parties may be mounting contested primaries. He says whatever happens, though, the Granite State will not budge.
I think they'll continue to pose challenges until they get tired and give up. We won't.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation. Being able to integrate.
And Scanlon also says New Hampshire continues to be a great choice for the first in the nation primary, more so almost than anywhere else in the country. He cites our relatively small size and media market, as well as high voter turnout rates and a relatively low barrier for candidates being able to get their name on that first in the nation primary ballot. Live in New Hampshire, Ross Ketchke, WMUR News 9.
Yeah, so you're seeing that, you heard that. Okay, now what is happening here? What's going on? So Biden is not going to be on the ballot in New Hampshire because he's listening to his woke advisors who are trying to force, along with the Democrat National Committee that is, they're trying to force New Hampshire to stop being the first primary state, okay? And the reason why is because they want a state like South Carolina who has a larger black population or a more diverse population, aka their state is less white than states like Iowa and New Hampshire. They want South Carolina to go first. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important for a couple reasons. One, states like Iowa and New Hampshire are important, traditionally speaking, and they went first, traditionally speaking, and it is important for candidates to win those states because the idea is that if you win the first two states, now you have momentum, right? You become the de facto front runner, and in the following states, people are going to tend to kind of vote in line with what, Iowa and New Hampshire have done. Okay, that's the idea. Again, Democrats want to change that because those states are too white. Okay, Iowa's too white and too Christian, right? And New Hampshire's just too white. So they want South Carolina to go first because, again, South Carolina has a more diverse population. So they're trying to force New Hampshire to change their own law by removing Joe Biden or not allowing Joe Biden to be on the New Hampshire ballot. Now, again, you can clearly see how this could backfire because now if you want to vote for Joe Biden in the Democrat primary, you're going to have to write in Joe Biden, which is a disadvantage versus having to just bubble Joe Biden or Joe Biden's name being on the ballot, right? So now with Dean Phillips in the race, he's expected to file to be on the ballot in New Hampshire. So with that being said, when voters go to vote in the Democrat primary, Joe Biden's name's not going to be on the ballot, and this guy's name will be on the ballot, okay, which will give him a significant advantage. So you can have a situation where this guy actually wins the New Hampshire primary, and that could be the momentum that he needs to raise more money and to launch more ads in some of these states that are going to be a lot tougher to win. And you could see him kind of building some momentum from there. But again, that's not going to happen if his whole pitch is that, well, everything is great under Biden. He's just too old, right? No. That's not going to work, buddy, right? If I was this man's advisor, I'd be like, things are not going great, right? Joe Biden and his policies have ruined the country. He's too far left. I'm a centrist Democrat, right? I would straight up run as a centrist Democrat, damn near Republican. I would basically run on Republican policies and be a Democrat if I was this guy, okay? If I was actually a consultant for his campaign, that's what I would tell him. I would run the most right-leaning campaign that you can, okay, against Biden. Don't come out here and say what he was doing was great, because it's not, and people just are not buying it. That's part of the reason why the guy's approval rating is so low. When you come out here and you say that, well, Biden's policies are great and he's done a great job, despite his low approval rating, right, what you're saying is that, well, you're co-signing his policies. The only difference between you and Biden is that you're younger than Biden, not because you have any different policies than Biden, right? So again, I'm just saying, right? Maybe I shouldn't be trying to help the guy because, if the Democrats had a different candidate, that would probably give him a better chance of winning. But regardless, I'm just saying that Joe Biden could actually be in trouble, okay? Again, it's a long shot, but it's possible, okay? This guy's not Gavin Newsom. He's not Gretchen Whitmer. He doesn't have that type of name recognition. But I'm just saying, if he runs the right type of campaign, if he ends up stealing New Hampshire from Joe Biden, Biden can be in trouble. I'm just saying. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
Daddy. You feel so daddy. My microphone. Stay on here. Bruh. Well, I haven't heard today. U.S. troops deployed to the Middle East. Let's look at this guy. And then oh shit. Okay, let me go back. Alright, I'll just do this.
Don't call me that name.
What?
He called me a Democrat.
Pass. You look like Polo G, so I'm gonna say smash. Pass. Here you go.
What the hell? I'm gonna pass respectfully.
Pass. I'm gonna pass.
I'm gonna have to pass respectfully.
I'll pass.
I'm gonna pass though.
Pass. No cap. Respectfully. Passing it.
Hell nah, you pass me. Hell out of here.
She looking. Hold on. Wait. Pass. All right. I was in basketball, so I'm a pass.
Here, I'm gonna have to.
You couldn't even fuck with me. I ain't gonna lie.
And she thought that 360 was going to save her. Only if more girls were like this next girl.
Hey, what's up, sexy?
Excuse me?
What kind of name you got?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, shit. Why you gotta be disrespectful? I'm just trying to get to know you, mommy. You got a man or what?
No, I
See
sure
you
don't.
smiling. I bet your man don't make you smile like that.
I sure don't.
You don't? Oh, shit. Okay. Can I come over?
I guess.
You guess?
How much horsepower you got?
Don't even worry about that, baby girl. Because the horsepower I'm gonna give you is real strong, okay?
Alright, I'll give you my number.
All right, bet.
And whenever a girl asks you, what do you want from her? My brother, simply do this.
How soon into dating do you look to have sex?
As soon as possible.
Contestant number 6.
Immediately.
Damn, girl. You look like you clean in between your couch cushions. Oh, shit. Big ass couch.
That's not a couch. That's a whole damn sofa. she's a good sport because nowadays it just seems like people can't take a joke or a simple compliment because people like this exist.
If men were that alpha, then they wouldn't be that bothered by this. Doesn't really help us when it comes to boys growing up. And that is one of my worries, that for teenage boys now, they are so terrified of the consequences of putting a foot out of line. It's hard enough being a young teenager, working out how to do dating and all of that, without the terror that if you touch in the wrong place at the wrong time, you may find that your whole life is destroyed.
See, I
and there
like
is
that
far
terror.
too much. Well,
I like that.
As a
I think
mother
that
of a
men should
teenage
be
boy, I
frightened.
don't like
Really? I would say that attitude actually is part of the problem too. That's, to me, toxic femininity.
Is that healthy?
Yes, I
The
think
other
it is
point-
actually. I think it's better to not have a physical relationship than to have one that could ruin a woman's life.
But then how do they ever start?
Well, don't. If you're not 100%
Don't.
sure,
What are we going
don't.
for?
What are you going to have, a bunch of neutered boys who never
it's
had...
so obvious.
We actually do
It's
have that.
like-
Gen Z is having far less sexual relationships
Yes,
than any
they are. It's true.
And
Young
hang
people
on.
have stopped having sex.
Guys, don't bring a girl home if you think that possibly she could have a false accusation against you.
Who sent you, huh? Huh? We're in a wire? Huh? You're setting me up?
Now reverse the gender roles. Imagine if a man went on live TV and said, I think women should be frightened. That man's head will be on a stick by tomorrow morning. Now for further clarification, we don't fear her because I can snap her head like a pencil stick. We just simply don't want nothing to do with her or these feminist bumbacluts.
He needs some milk.
So yeah, I broke up with a guy. I married another guy.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So does that make me a playgirl? I am a playgirl. How?
No, you're not called a playgirl.
1 second.
Let me explain.
1 second. I haven't finished my question. I haven't finished my question.
Fine.
Okay. Point number. Firstly, nobody has the right to label any girl or a boy. No, it is my choice to do whatever I want to do. Okay? There is no gender here. There is no gender here. Just because, you have something extra, I have something extra in my body. It's as simple as that. But one more thing, I have something more. I can give birth. You can't. And you talk about
I can give the software to you to give birth.
I was about to say that. 1 second.
I can give the formula of a human being.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that. Oh, I don't need your sperms. You know what? Even dog sperms can give birth to a human child. Do you know that?
Okay. Go marry a dog.
If given a...
Go marry a dog. Fuck a dog.
There's two very important key elements that we can take away from this feminist bumbaclut. One, she read biology from a Walmart milk carton. Two, to whoever the guy she broke up with, and if you're watching this, you are the luckiest man on the planet.
To my surprise, I don't know the reason. I search for the reason, I can't find out the reason. It still remains a mystery to me.
Fact that a woman will get in a car designed and built by a man and go to a studio that was built by men and sit on a chair that was built by men and talk to a camera that was built by men and tell the world that men ain't shit.
Are men trash? Cis, heterosexual men, absolutely, especially white men.
Shows she is worse than low IQ. She's a bad person. Men have built a society so safe in the West that women can sit on TV and hate us. You couldn't do that unless men built you a safe society in the first place.
I strongly dislike and hate the ideologies of feminism on how it makes men and women compete and fight with each other. Oh, women are better than men, men are better than women. Everybody just calm your tits. A woman needs a man just as much as a man needs a woman.
I'm gonna say it because no one else is. Feminism's gone way too far. Okay? Men can't even look in the same direction for too long at the gym because they're terrified someone's recording them and then blast them all over the internet later on. Can't ask for a phone number because you might also look like a creep. Really can't even exist at this point without apologizing, and I'm tired of it because they're the same women that complain that no man talks to them or approaches them. You know what? You want him to go up to you? You have to go up to him at this point because that's the reality you've all created.
Now look how beautiful this is when a man and a woman come together, work together, and love each other.
Bitch, what's for dinner? If you ever let me talk to you like that, you better smack the shit out of me. if I ever talk to you like that. Do you understand? Yeah?
You've been very drunk for the last hour.
Me or you?
You.
Yes, sir. Thank you, babe. I appreciate it. Love you.
Love you.
Gentlemen, I pray that all my brothers see a titty today and find a good, loyal woman who treats you like a king. But gentlemen, may I remind you, stay away from these cream gobblers.
In this world, we have people that have talents, and those people...
Talent?
Yes, they have talent. Everyone no, everyone can't take Molly. No, you cannot take Molly. No, you can't. It's a talent. And people have talents. People are good at specific things in life. Anyways, stars are good at and if you're mad that stars are good at then you're just jealous that your is inferior.
It definitely does come
Nobody's
off
and
very-
stinky.
Your is over here on the internet. My has been seen by
People
certain
worship my I
like
could
to
pull
just
up my
get-
DMs.
People like to just bust in
Chat,
that.
this girl just said
watching
that
your
people don't
pussy.
love
That she thinks that her pussy is being worshipped, but it is being worshipped by multiple people.
Yeah, people pay for it.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You're a hoe.
That girl at the end, good for you. You're a hoe. She's an absolute scholar and an MVP for that. Because a corn star saying they're good at sex is like someone cooking and frying chicken at KFC and saying they're the Gordon Ramsay, the Grand Master Chef of cooking.
Fucking useless sack of shit! Get out!
You're gorgeous.
Thank you. Can I get your number?
My number?
Yeah.
You're gorgeous.
Thank you. Can I get your number?
My number?
Yeah.
She's preparing dinner the wrong way. And unfortunately, somebody has to eat it.
If your name is Abby and you gave your boyfriend pink eye after doing the deed with him when he went down on you, girl, your best friends were talking shit about you in Barnes & Nobles. I don't think they were there to read books. They were there to talk shit about you. Because they were sitting behind me and they were running their mouth the whole time about you, Abby. All I heard was Abby this, Abby that. So, yeah, I would drop them and get new friends, babe.
Any woman who does this to a man, she deserves to get karate chopped in the face.
Ever justifiable for a man to hit a female? Is it justifiable for a man to hit a woman? I can't speak for men, but I can speak for myself. You disrespect me, Lord Jesus, look out.
Because men should never hit a woman.
Why not?
That's just f***ed up.
What? Why?
Why should a man hit a woman?
To protect himself.
Oh man, this is a lot.
What do you mean?
I just disagree with your viewpoints.
Why?
That you think a man should hit a woman?
Should a woman hit him? Yes, I do.
I don't think violence is the answer to anything.
No, in protection, he's self-defense. Let's say a woman hit, he shouldn't just go around hitting her just for no reason.
Yeah.
But let's say that, should women hit men?
No.
Right. So if a woman should hit a man, shouldn't he smack her back?
No.
Why not?
Because she's a girl.
She doesn't know that.
But I just think that's unfair.
So if a woman smack a man, what should he do?
He probably deserved it, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, you want me to play this game? Let's go.
And doesn't she deserve to be smacked back? If
No,
she hit him?
she's a girl. Guys should not hit girls.
But girls should hit guys.
I never said that. No.
But if they do, the guy shouldn't smack her back.
No.
Why not?
Because guys shouldn't hit girls.
Why?
Because it's just that's just unfair.
How?
Because girls are tender and beautiful creatures that should not be hit.
But don't they know that before they hit the man that they can't handle it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
This is like watching a computer glitch. I just want everybody at home watching this. I just want you guys to know that my hands are rated E. E for everyone. Because equal rights, equal fights.
Forget about it! You ain't even gonna do nothing? Joke's on you, Arlie. I identify as a woman.
And gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the thank you button. It truly means a lot. I'm out of here, fellas.
What was it like being there when dinosaurs roamed the earth?
What's it like being ugly and sad?
This guy. Damn. Oh, let's see what they say. How about this one? Okay. And then delay for less. $150 milliseconds. All right. Oh.
Yeah, I got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. I remember when we was younger, we just got our college degrees. We had a false perception of reality when it comes to once you get a college education. Yeah. You think the world belongs to you now. Yeah, you think it's gonna. I got that bachelor's degree. Like, man, things are gonna start lining up for me. I went to school, got this degree. I got a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance. Man, yeah. I'm gonna make something out of myself. It's all a lie. Yeah, then you go out there and apply for the jobs. We'll start you off at $9.50, and I'm like, bitch. I got a college degree here. I paid $60,000 for it too. Yeah. You ain't got no experience. Well, my college degree is my experience. No, it doesn't work like that. Man, you know what? I'm halfway through my master's. I'm dropping out. I dropped out. Remember, I was halfway to my master's degree. Yeah, the key to life is about what you know and who you know. Yeah. More often than not is who you know. You can always learn what you need to know through somebody who you know. If you don't know anybody, like these sore-ass Negroes out here, you ain't gonna amount to shit. Man, what you talking about? That's why black people, they don't build healthy relationships. A lot of them don't. Just black people. Yeah, white people. That's an attribute all races. What? White people build ignorance is an attribute found in all races. Yeah, that's true. You make it sound like black people just a bumbling, fumbling morons. Who is you, Jesse Lee Peterson? They are black people in the financial turmoil that they're in. It's because they're stupid than everybody else. No, it's not stupid. It's called ignorance. No, it ain't. No, it's stupid. Ignorant is when you don't have all the information, right? Stupid is when you have all the information and you still stupid. Black people get everything white people got. You got the same. Some of us start off in front of most of other people. I mean, you have a head start, but look where you came from. Yeah, it's because we're not stupid. Yeah, we can assimilate new information. Yeah, right. We can conform to society and apply it. Yeah. And tell them, and speak on it. Preach to them. I've lost for words. I mean, I'm not saying black people are. Yeah, I'm saying that they are stupid. Kevin, no, hey Keith, man, what I tell you about this, man? I tell you right before we start the video, take it easy on the Negroes. We 3 minutes in the video, you over here roasting niggas. No, man, black people need is tough love, man. It's tough love. All right, Kevin. Hey, look how, let me say this. Look how tough the Chinese, the Taiwanese, the Japanese, the Hainanese is tough on their kids. Yeah. Yeah. Especially Chinese and Japanese, man. Good point, man. You bring home a seat, they slap the shit out of you. Black kids come home, hey, man, you dumbass nigga. You dumb just like your stupid mama. Get out of my face. I got a game to watch. The Cowboys and the Redskins playing. I'm just saying, man, You can't no longer.
Oh, the open one.
I mean, you just look at FBI statistics. Kevin, I'm done. Nah, look at it. Hey, Kevin, I'm not talking about. There's plenty of poor folks that's not black and they don't do the things that. I mean, our culture is. It's the culture within the black community. Okay, can we stop talking about black people? Because I'm tired. I'm sick of them anyway. Let's talk about this white girl. This white girl just finished college and go easy on her. She's white. Let's go to the video.
Here it is, the Vanish holster, the world's most comfortable holster. One thing to know is you don't need a belt with the Vanish holster because it's got one built in. So go ahead and wear this in your business suit, a bathing suit, or your
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9-to-5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me fucking forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just, like, the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like, if it was remote, you get off at 5, and you're home, and everything's fine. But, like, I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and, like people that drive to the office, like, you don't get off at 5, and I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but, like, I literally get off, it's pitch black, like, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like, how do you have time to, like, meet, like, a guy? I don't know. Like, how do you have time for, like, dating? Like, I don't have time for anything, and I'm, like, so stressed out, and I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional, but, like,
what?
Am I so dramatic? It's fine.
You start bleeding. Start bleeding to get all emotional. Man, you know what? I agree with everything she just said, man. Yeah, when women start bleeding, I think you should put in this law. When you're on your period, you can't vote. You're too emotional. Liable to go vote for a Democrat. Hey, I agree with a lot of things she said, but you can't victimize yourself like that. Man, what you experience, everybody goes through that. Yeah. You need to find a better job. Yeah. You need to start working for yourself. Yeah, you need to find a job that works best for you. I remember I had a 9 to 5. Right. Yeah, everything took me 2 hours to get to work because of traffic, but the damn job was like 5-minute walk down the road. And then you get off work, and then you gotta go through that same shit. Right? You get home, damn kids crying, wife nagging at you. Right? Talking about we ain't got no money. Talking about we ain't got no money. I said, bitch, I'm doing all I can. Right? I mean, I totally understand everything you're saying. I remember when we was going to school, I wanted to become a CPA or a possible enrolled agent with the IRS. I wanted to do something, but then finally I said, you know what? If I get a CPA, I'm working for somebody. They call in the shots. You're not self-employed. Your client is still calling the shots. And then when you work for somebody, when you go in for a 9 to 5, you pretty much, man, you crazy as hell, woman, for calling me. Guess what I'm gonna do to her when I get home? I told that woman to stop calling me. Anyway. Hey, let me do some talking. Let me do some talking. Me and Keith always had this, we always wanted to be self-employed. You know? That's why we wanted to be CPA, blah, 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 blah. So we started YouTube. So thank God everything worked out. I ain't gotta go clock in. I don't have to drive 3 hours to get to my job and drive back. And we found what works for us. You gotta find what works best for you. Man, I'm tired of this shit. Yeah, let me put on solid. You need to tell her, man, this is a professional establishment we got going here. She can't be calling during production. I do, man, but these damn immigrants, they don't pay attention. Damn immigrants, man, you can't live with them, you can't live without them. Yeah, but I feel your pain. I mean, you just got to find what works for you. It's like everybody goes through that. Yeah. You just well, I'm going to say it again. You got to find what works best for you. Yeah. You're pretty, though. You good-looking girl. I'm sure you.
Man, I don't.
Things gonna work out.
You haven't caught on. You don't need to work. The way you look, you can't get
Wait a minute.
You get a doctor, a lawyer. This woman don't have to work. What is wrong with her? Women like that don't work.
Like what? Women like what?
her.
Hey, Kevin, this ain't the Stone Age. Women want a career. They just want to get packed and cream pied and make
I didn't
kids
say all
and
that.
stay home all day.
But a woman like that, she really doesn't have to work.
Man, she got dreams.
Dreams of what?
Having a career. That's what.
That's bullshit.
Man, you crazy as hell. What's wrong with you? You sound like a damn progressive.
No, look what we self-employed. You can only I find
you know what? You done enough talking. Shut up.
and this surveilling.
I'm not knocking a 9 to 5, but man, true freedom and true happiness and financial freedom can only be found being self-employed.
Okay,
when you work for somebody else, man, you can get a job that pays you great. Man, true freedom is when you self-employed. You set your own schedule. Until you can do that,
well, you can. A lot of people don't want to be self-employed. They don't want the responsibilities.
I know.
Hey, so let me do some talking. But there you again, find what works for you. Easier said than done. Yeah. Damn good show. You be alright, little white girl. Pretty little lips, pretty eyes. Yeah. Hey, we got a new giveaway going.
The big blue eyes looking up at you. We got what? You don't want to work no more? All you got to do is take care of daddy.
Hey man, we got a new giveaway going.
Oh man,
we give away a Ford Bronco and $10,000 in cash. This is no ordinary Bronco. It's got 35,000 upgrades to show truck out in Vegas. The end of the win. Go to officialhogstwins.com. Anything you buy from the site, get you automatically entered to win. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I guess I don't do that. How about do I just... Oh.
Yeah, got a show for y'all. Got a damn good show. I'm so confused about this video. I'm like, yeah, he has ulterior motives. He knew what he was getting involved in.
Okay.
Like, why do any guy go to a massage parlor? Get a massage and get a full release. Get some tension release, right? Yeah. I kind of walked into by accident when I was younger. Went in to get a massage. My neck was hurting, my back. I said, man, I need a massage, man. Then I flipped over. I was like, stop! What are you doing? Oh my God! Oh, I'm married. I'm married. No, I'm Christian. No, I'm married. Oh my God! Oh, it's getting hard. Oh, jeez. I'm coming. Why you do that? You gonna burn in hell for that. Hey, let's go to this video.
This lady tried to touch on me at a massage place and then refused to give my money back. She going to jail. She tried to grab my genitals. She going to jail. And they wonder why Christians having a hard time making it to heaven. I stand for Jesus.
Man, you an idiot is what you are.
This ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. You see that cute little Asian in there? That little Asian trying to help you out, and you call the cops on her? You little light-skinned queer. Go to the little Asian girl. Oh, man. Look at that little cutie in now. I like a girl with fat calves, man. Yeah, Asians have fat calves. Look at them. Look at them. Man, where this place at? Look like it's in some Latino area because it got Adriana's insurance? Yeah, that's Latino. Probably in California. Little light-skinned dude like Drake. Why don't you be a real man like Drake? Drake would have got jacked off. Wait a minute, you going to a massage party? Drake was rapping and getting jacked off. Shut up, man. It's God's plan. Break your face. Hey, it's late at night. This is nighttime. He going in to get a massage at night? Huh? Yeah. It's at nighttime. Look at the video. It's dark outside. Yeah. And then the lights is it's got flashing lights. That's like telling you what you about to get involved in. Yeah. It's like damn red light district. I found out about massage parlors when I was in the United States Marine Corps. I was 18 years old. All the Marines was going off, get some time off the base. Everybody say, hey, we going to the massage parlor. So the massage parlor, that's kind of, I don't want the massagers to say, hey, man, you see, you ain't never been there before. These them special kind of massages. Well, that Cap Lejeune, North Carolina. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Can't communicate.
I was 18. I was a Marine serving my great country. I was in full uniform, locked and cocked. I was marching in that bitch.
Okay.
Look, Mama son came with them little Asian hands, started jacking me off. Hey, dude. Hey man, you shouldn't have called the cops on her.
Which ports on the switch light up if a PC
You know what I'm saying? Why you even bring God into this? Hey, you're in a massage parlor, it's probably 11 o'clock at night. And you talking about Jesus? Yeah. I'm a Christian too, but come on, man. She's probably Christian. She's trying to make ends meet. What? The thing I don't get about some of these Christians, man, they think they better Christians than everybody else. Now look, would a Christian call the cops on her? Now she's gonna lose her job. She probably got a family before. What Christian would call the cops?
To what?
She's probably got a family she needs to support. Okay. He's calling the cops, so now she can't support her family. What kind of Christian would do that? The cops. Look here. Let me do some talking. He said, you know what? I just said let me do some talking. He shouldn't have called the cops, man. Let me do some talking. Snitch is what he is. Yeah, let me do some light-skinned snitch. Let me do some talking. That's why light-skinned people, light-skinned dudes, that's why we got a bad rap. He in there talking about Jesus. Hey, man. Christian. Hey, let me say something. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Which will light up.
Let's read some comments. Pull up the comments. Let's see what the court... Let's see what the court... Shut up! Let's see what the court of public opinion has to say about this. Let me say something. Massage. You can rub your muscles. You know your mushroom tips are muscle. It actually, when you massage that, it engorges with blood.
Let's see. Can I?
Hey, man, where you going with this? I don't see why it's illegal. I don't think it shouldn't be. It's a massage. So you mean to tell you can massage all this, but when you massage that, that's against the law? That's where it's feel the best. It's a massage. That's all a hand job is, a massage. All right, let's go to the comments. I'm with you, bro. Now, where's this massage place at? You know, to protest and stuff. No, I hate this dude. I go there all the time. Bro snitched on Melly lining for no reason. No, he's snitched on Meg Ling for no reason. Me Ling for no reason.
Which ports on switch?
I messed that one up. Someone start a GoFundMe for this woman. Note to self, don't touch that one. He's a tattletailer. Legit massages don't happen after the sun goes down, and he knew that. Yeah, you made that. Gay as hell, shaking my head. He bogus as ever. He is not gay, he simply gives respect. Isn't that what women do too? Give me respect. Give men respect, you non-reading mother. I can't say it. Give men respect. Here, let me read it. He is not gay. He simply gives respect. Isn't that what women do too? Give men respect and live equality. What? Oh, woke ass. Shut up. Look, if the massage place has flashing lights, then you should know what you're getting yourself into. Where's the place at? Low key, asking for a friend. Asians, right? Crazy. Based on a court of public opinion, you're guilty. Guilty! Negro, you is guilty. Guilty of ignorance.
20. Okay.
Calling the
Which
cops.
ports
Like
on
I said, she tried to rip it off.
would
Yeah,
light up
salt,
if
and yeah, I called
connected?
cops, but she was gonna like make the jets
To
go
port
fly.
11 cents in
That's a good girl.
multicast message.
Hey, we got a new giveaway
To
going.
port
Giveaway a Ford
13.
Bronco, 10,000 in cash. It's no ordinary Bronco. It's got 35,000 upgrades. It was a show truck in Vegas. Then win. Go to fisherhogtwins.com. Anything you buy from the site, get you automatically in it to win. Yeah.
I don't know which. How can I find what's connected to port 13? So I know it's 20. So it's one of these.
Right now at Sun Toyota, you can get great prices and payments on hundreds of new Toyotas. Receive $5,000 in benefits and savings with our Advantage Club. Get a nationwide lifetime warranty on all new and most pre-owned vehicles. Get all the facts at suntoyota.com.
Some interesting new video footage has come to light of Democratic Representative Jamal Bowman removing warning signs before reportedly pulling a false fire alarm in a House office building last month, which he pleaded guilty to yesterday. Bowman says he has struck a deal with D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab to have the fire alarm expunged from his record once he pays a fine.
You know, pay the fine. 3 months from now, it'll be dismissed, and I'll be able to just continue to serve my district.
You mean it'll be dismissed, like it'll be expunged from your record?
I believe so, yes.
That's the deal?
Yes, yeah.
With Capitol Police?
ACD, the DCAG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries answering questions on Jamal Bowman's actions last month.
Bowman obviously went through the amendment process this morning. I'm curious if there's a censure resolution that's been introduced against him. Is what he's done and admitted to in court worthy of censure?
Not in my view.
So I think this is a very interesting case. Now that we have this footage of him removing the emergency signs, it's not just that he was trying to get through the door and he thought that pulling the fire alarm would open it. I made an excuse for Jamal Bowman, having grown up near New York City and taking the subway dozens of times. Oftentimes people, instead of going through the revolving door, they leave through what is labeled the emergency exit and no alarm sounds. It seems that this wasn't that kind of a case. I will say, he did admit he was rushed and trying to get to the vote, and perhaps he pulled the fire alarm because he thought he would miss the vote on the floor of Congress, to which I say, at least he is dedicated to being on the floor of Congress when there is a vote. We can't say that for many members of Congress. I would like to believe that's why he did this.
Maybe. He didn't look particularly rushed in that video, though. He's kind of meandering around, and the claim that was made in terms of the explanation of his actions when we first heard about it was that he pulled the fire alarm and was so panicked that he started running away to try to get to the vote, and I don't see him running in this video. I mean, every explanation that we've heard about this has been utterly ridiculous. The first, that he thought the fire alarm would open the door, which has never been the case in basically any instance of modern history where there's been an emergency exit. Then there was the explanation that the sign that was on the door must have been confusing because it was labeled emergency exit, and apparently Jamal Bowman can't read. But then it turns out he actually took the sign off the door and never even tried to exit through the door that he was supposedly trying to open, just left the scene of the crime. Everything about this is absurd. I don't know what his reasoning was. Was he trying to delay the vote? I don't know. I think the only reason that I would err on the side of that not being his motivation is that he wanted the vote to go through because it ended up being on the side that he wanted it to go. But I just can't think of anything else reasonable or rational to explain what he was doing here.
Yeah, I think Congress was a dumpster fire at the time of pulling the fire alarm, so is it justified for that reason alone? No, probably not. I was surprised that we saw this escalate to the point of going to the DEA's office. I understand that this is a dangerous thing to do, right? Everyone says don't shout fire in the movie theater. Apparently, don't pull the fire alarm in the halls of Congress. I think it could be dangerous, right? Everyone rushing to get out, everyone's security personnel trying to figure out what's going on. It hasn't been exactly a smooth few years for the folks working to protect the Capitol. So I think, yeah, there are a lot of reasons why you shouldn't pull a fire alarm if there isn't a fire. But I think it's the proper handling of the situation to give him a fine, given that no one was hurt. It seems that he wasn't doing this for malicious reasons, regardless of whether or not we know the real reasons. But I think it's the proper handling of this to issue a fine. I think that fines as punishment aren't great because it seems that if you are poor and you cannot pay the fine, you face jail time, and you shouldn't go to jail for just not having the money. But I think in this case, we know what Jamal Bowman's salary is, and I think it's justified to give him a fine and expunge this from the record after 3 months, given he doesn't pull another fire alarm.
Yeah, I would hope not. He also used to be a principal at, I believe it was an elementary school. And after he initially pulled the fire alarm, people were circulating the rules in terms of how it applies to the students at his school if they were to pull a false fire alarm. And it said that they could either be suspended or actually expelled from the school. So I don't know, maybe he should be held to the same standard that he held his students to, considering they were much younger and he's an adult and should know better and is representing the American people in Congress. He should have some level of rational sense, but alas, politicians have proven repeatedly, time and again, that they don't even have even a modicum of common sense. I think the bigger story for me here, beyond Jamal Bowman's actions, was how quickly his colleagues came to his defense and tried to come up with all of these crazy explanations for what he did, tried to say that it was no big deal, tried to say that he was just rushing to the vote and he didn't know what he was doing. And then the video comes out and immediately debunks all of it. I think it's a good reminder to all of us of how political parties play this game with each other on Capitol Hill. They're so quick to blindly defend each other, to make excuses for just about anything if it's someone who's seen as being on their team. And that type of tribal mindset comes at the expense of the American people who knew that they were being lied to about something as silly as pulling a fire alarm.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that all of the Democrats came to his defense. It makes me wonder if this was a premeditated thing, if they had some kind of a plan. And because I'm sure Jamal Bowman has sit across a desk from a student who has pulled a fire alarm and heard the reasoning. You know, I pulled the fire alarm because I had a test coming up I wasn't prepared for and I didn't want to take it. So I decided to disrupt the entire school so that I could take it tomorrow after I study. He's probably heard the reasons. He could have been the one to talk to Hakeem Jeffries and other Democrats and say, listen, they're going to scheme some more. This vote might not go our way if we give them more time to convene with each other. So here's my plan. I'm going to go pull the fire alarm. It could have been a plan that they came up with together. It's just too weird to assume that Jamal Bowman was walking through the hallway and just randomly decided, you know what would be fun is if I pulled the fire alarm right before this vote. It just doesn't make any sense. And I think there's probably some more scheming going on here, some more strategy behind this than it was just a mistake.
Yeah, the other problem was that after he pulled the fire alarm, Jamal Bowman walked past 7 uniformed Capitol Police officers and didn't think to say, hey guys, it was me. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to pull it. It's a false alarm. Instead, he just went right past them and let them to their own devices to try to figure out what the heck was going on. And to your point, this is a government building. This is a building that requires top-notch security. Hasn't always been the best in the past. On the January 6th riot, for example, Capitol Police found themselves quickly overwhelmed and unprepared for what happened on that day. So you know that they're going to take something like this incredibly seriously. They're going to have major concerns about what's going on. And this wasn't the Capitol building. I believe this was one of the House office buildings, which makes it even stranger because you're less likely to have tourists in there. It's more likely to be a member of an office or their staff member, in which case you would think it would be less likely for a false fire alarm to be pulled. But knowing what we do about politicians, maybe it's actually more likely.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Fire Alarm Gate. I think it's one of the more interesting of the recent controversies in the halls of Congress. What an absolute mess this vote for Speaker has been. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of members of Congress were sleep deprived and not in their best mental state. You know, it could have been an intrusive thought from Jamal Bowman that he decided to act on. It could have been like, you know, I've always wanted to do this. I haven't thought of him as this kind of chaotic, neutral individual as far as moral alignments go. But maybe he just wanted to see what would happen, and it was an intrusive thought from a sleep-deprived Jamal Bowman. But I think, going back to the strategy, is Jamal Bowman the guy for the job? I mean, he has a background in organizing. Direct action is a part of organizing. Would he lose votes in his district from doing this? I think he would be the guy for the job if I were to convene members of Congress and be like, all right, one of us has to do this. It can't be our staffers because we'll have to fire them. It has to be one of us. I can really see this being game planned.
Yeah, I actually can too. And, you know, based on people I've talked to about Jamal Bowman, they don't really identify him as the sharpest tool in the shed. So it would make sense for him to be the sort of convenient fall guy who was willing to go along with whatever leadership told him to do and just play dumb because maybe he actually is. We'll be back with more Rising after this.
Router. See what happens. It's not there. You can do VLAN.
Daily Mail has this: America's Adderall shortage is driving ADHD patients to use meth in its place, social workers have claimed. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced an official Adderall shortage in October 2022, but people are still struggling to get their hands on the medication over a year later. People can become reliant on the drug, meaning that if they stop taking it suddenly, they cannot think or function properly. This dependence can drive people with ADHD to the black market to get their dopamine hit. Both meth and Adderall are amphetamines and central nervous stimulants, which help redress the dopamine imbalance in people with ADHD. The whole thing about the dopamine balance, that's all fake, but that's not true. That's misinformation. There's certainly no well-established link between dopamine chemical imbalance and ADHD. We hear about the chemical imbalance with all kinds of these different mental disorders, and they're just stated as a fact. Oh, there's an imbalance. Okay, well, I have to ask again, if that's the case, then why don't they diagnose ADHD with a brain scan? They don't, do they? No, they diagnose ADHD, and then maybe they'll go back later and look at the brain, and then try to kind of like reverse engineer it. Oh, well, okay, we've already established this person has ADHD, right? Now we're looking at the brain, and let's find in the brain the things to prove the determination we already made, regardless of what's happening chemically in the brain. Anyway, Garrett Roysher, a licensed social worker in New York who counsels people who use drugs, told the Daily Beast that clients who have ADHD but have never tried meth before have started inquiring about safer meth use, inquiring about the effects, saying, I can't get my medication, I need to find something to help me function. Okay, well, this is great, isn't it? We've got a bunch of people looking for methamphetamine. Thank you, Big Pharma. Have we had enough of this yet? Have we? Are we done with it yet? We've created a nation of drug addicts. We. No, it's not we. Big Pharma has created a nation of drug addicts. And they've done it by convincing healthy people that they're sick, and convincing parents that their healthy children are sick, and then prescribing stuff that will actually make them sick to cure the fake illness. And now we've got a bunch of meth addicts who think they need meth to cure them of being easily distracted. I mean, think about that. It's madness. I can't focus. Let me get some meth. Here's what everyone needs to understand. We are never going to be free from the clutches of Big Pharma as long as you take some weak sauce stance like, oh yeah, those disorders are overdiagnosed. ADHD is overdiagnosed. No, it's not overdiagnosed. For the same reason that I would never say that sightings of the tooth fairy are overreported. Okay? No, it's just made up. Okay? It's manufactured. ADHD is a manufactured illness, just like so many other illnesses, especially psychiatric illnesses, that Big Pharma has invented and then monetized. Oh no, ADHD isn't made up. You don't understand. My 7-year-old son is always really distracted all the time. Oh really? Your 7-year-old son? Your 7-year-old boy is high energy, has trouble focusing? You mean like every other 7-year-old who's ever lived? And oh wait, your kid is distracted while living in a world surrounded by screens and noise and lights and sounds and images all the time. So he's distracted while being totally surrounded by distractions. Same for you. You might say, no, I have ADHD. And I know that I have ADHD because I'm so distracted all the time. Of course, I could ask you, like, what's your control group, right? You know how your brain functions. How do you know that it's not supposed to function that way? Well, I know my brain, I have difficult. My brain functions this way. I know that it's not supposed to function that way. Based on what? Have you ever been inside of anyone else's mind? How do you know that this is not how minds just work? Right? I mean, that's a very basic question, but it's something to think about. If you look around and you respond, especially to modern society, by being very distracted, unable to focus, and you declare that, well, it must mean that you have ADHD. Well, how do you know? But you don't know anyone else's mind. You haven't lived inside anyone else's body or experienced their mental states or their inner life. So you have no idea whether your way of responding to the outside world is normal or not. You don't know. And I got news for you. The psychiatrists and counselors and therapists you go to, they don't know either. Okay? They're not experts in the human condition. These are not gods. Okay? They're not living inside anyone else's mind either. They have just come up with an arbitrary idea of how minds are supposed to work and how people are supposed to behave. And that's the standard that they're holding you against. And then they drug you, like they have their standard that they've made up, and then they give you drugs to bring you up to that level. It's worth asking, like, how do you know? So you go to a therapist and you say, here's how I am, here's how I function. And they say, well, you're not supposed to function that way. Okay, how do you know that? Who told you that? Since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the left has lost their minds. Leftism is their religion and abortion is their official sacrament. Meanwhile, pro-life efforts, which are now more important than ever, are booming. As one of the largest pro-life organizations in the world, no one is in a better position than 40 Days for Life to end abortion state by state. They've opened a record number of locations since Roe was overturned, and they continue to grow in volunteers. They now have 1 million volunteers in 1,500 cities. 40 Days for Life holds peaceful vigils outside abortion facilities in an effort to change hearts and minds in the most blue pro-abortion states. You can help 40 Days for Life fight ongoing legal battles to protect free speech for their volunteers by giving a tax-deductible gift of any amount at 40daysforlife.com. That's 40daysforlife.com.
How the fuck can you not see? Yo, this is like so. Oh my god, here we go. How can you not find the IP address?
And especially with something like this, right? Now, again, I mean, there are obvious cases. Somebody's hearing voices, having hallucinations. Like, clearly, that is not normal. It's not supposed to be that way. But if it's something like, I have trouble focusing, I'm distracted. Well, yeah, everybody. That's true of everybody. Yeah, but for me, it's extra. It's like more than normal. So this is a totally normal, like hearing voices and hallucinating, that's not normal in any degree at all. If you do that at all, then it's not, there's a problem. But being distracted, not being able to focus, that is totally normal. Everybody in the world struggles with it. But what we're being told is that it's normal, but but there's a baseline, and if you go a little bit above the baseline, now it's a mental illness. It's not just a variation of personality, right? It's a mental illness. You don't have to think about that very long to realize how ridiculous it is and how arbitrary it is and how just impossible to quantify it is. So we can continue with this strategy, with creating a nation of meth addicts, or we can consider that maybe this is all made up, okay? Like maybe Big Pharma and the psychiatric industry, they are making up illnesses. And why would they do it? Because they make billions of dollars off of it. This is not a far-fetched, far-flung conspiracy theory. Maybe a conspiracy theory, but you don't have to speculate about what the motivations would be. Okay, we have people in these positions who, if there's some new mental illness that comes along, that means billions of dollars for them. And so are they motivated to come up with these mental illnesses and diagnose them? Hell yeah, they are. So what's our response to that? Well, they would never do that. The Big Pharma would never do that. Come on. Well, not only would they do it, we know they do it. Many people are victims of it. Like many people who are otherwise very skeptical of Big Pharma, sort of are theoretically skeptical of Big Pharma, have themselves fallen victim to this. And they don't realize how it applies to them and their own kids. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.
It's not what I'm looking for. I guess you can't really find it. I don't know, but that's just super weird. So this is a switch. Alright, because I've tried these commands already. Issue. Interface viewing. Oh my god, I don't get it.
Here's a fascinating story from Yahoo. Before
30, 20, and then there's
we get into the next segment. Here's the headline. Are adults over Halloween costumes? Nearly 2/3 of Americans say they aren't dressing up. According to a new Yahoo YouGov poll. Experts explain why. Now, you got to love the experts, so they brought the experts in to explain why adults are not wearing Halloween costumes this year. I don't know what kind of, what field are these experts in? They're experts in Halloween, so it's basically like, are the experts Party City employees? Is that, are they the experts? I don't know, maybe we'll find out. The article says Halloween is around the corner, but data from the latest Yahoo YouGov poll suggests that most U.S. adults won't be donning costumes for the celebration this year. According to the poll, while 22% are opting to dress up for the spooky holiday, 63% have chosen to skip out this season, while 14% have decided, haven't decided one way or another. Many of us might find all the hoopla surrounding Halloween a bit debilitating for one reason or another. Dr. Shaina Ali, a mental health counselor and educator who's written about Halloween. Okay, now we know who the experts are. A mental health counselor and educator who's written about Halloween anxiety, which is a thing, says that whether someone loves it or hates it can often be a sign of something deeper. Ali tells Yahoo Entertainment, a big divider is if the person values Halloween. Some of those factors may be related to their upbringing, such as not being from a family who takes part, being part of a religion with strong beliefs against Halloween, or financial costs for those who don't have disposable income to spend on the holiday. Let's see, childhood triggers aside, they also say that this year could be especially tough for adults who find it hard to have fun while tragedies are actively occurring across the globe, such as the devastating Israeli-Hamas war. Okay. Sorry, there's nothing funny about what's happening in the Middle East, but I can't help but laugh at the image of like a 32-year-old woman staring at her sexy Frankenstein costume and saying, no, I just can't this year. I just can't do it. Not while there's conflict abroad. Not with the conflict abroad. This is not the year to be sexy Frankenstein. Maybe regular Frankenstein. It's also funny that the article is painting the lack of adult participation in a child's holiday as some kind of sad thing. It's like they're seeing it as some sort of bad sign about our culture. And this is actually one of the only good signs that we've seen in a long time. This is one of the only positive social developments that we have seen in our culture in decades. If adults aren't wearing costumes on Halloween, maybe it's because they're adults. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's because they're grown-ups. Maybe it's because we don't need to bring experts in, okay? I don't need Halloween experts. If you tell me that more and more adults aren't wearing costumes, then that would make me think, maybe I'm being optimistic, but that these adults have looked in a mirror and said, oh, I'm an adult. I'm 46 years old. What? And I've been wearing a Halloween costume this entire time. Man, that's embarrassing. Now, I don't wear a costume. It's not because I have Halloween anxiety or because I'm depressed about what's happening in Ukraine or something. It's because I'm a grown man. And it's because costumes are for children. Halloween is a child's holiday. And if it goes back to being a child's holiday again, that's a good thing. It means that some semblance of sanity and order are being restored in our society in a small way, but every bit counts. We still have a long way to go. I mean, if 2/3 of adults aren't dressing up, that means that 1/3 of adults are dressing up, and that's still way too high. And the numbers are still pretty. I mean, I went the other day to the store to get a costume for my son, and he had a costume already, but he doesn't like the one he has, so he wanted to get another one. And this is how kids are on Halloween. I mean, you hear about Halloween anxiety. If you're an adult with Halloween anxiety, then you need to grow the hell up. Kids do have Halloween anxiety, though, because the decision about what costume to wear for a kid is like very, very important. And they go, it's a torturous process of deciding, and they change their mind 46 times before the actual night. And I guess we spoil our kids a little bit because we actually buy them costumes. When I was a kid, the costumes were usually homemade. I've told my kids this many times. It's like my version of the I walk to school uphill both ways kind of thing. My version is I had a homemade costume. They've all heard my speech about the time when I was a kid and I wanted to be a knight in shining armor, and so my mom made me a helmet out of a cereal box wrapped in tinfoil and put that on my head and said, "You're a knight in shining armor." And then I go trick-or-treating, and all night people are like, "Oh, that's a cute astronaut." And I say, "Oh, I'm an astronaut. I'm holding a sword." Okay, I get that the helmet's not exactly. It's not exactly historically accurate, but I'm an astronaut with a sword. And then later I realized I should have just been an astronaut with a sword because that'd be a way cooler costume to begin with. Anyway, so I took my kid to get a costume, and like 90% of the costumes were for adults. I actually had to search, okay? I had to search to find a costume that is for a kid. And most of those are just superheroes. So like, if you're a kid who doesn't want to be a superhero on Halloween, you're going to end up just with a cereal box on your head wrapped in tinfoil because there's nothing else. Pure Talk recently announced that they would alleviate $10 million in veteran debt by Veterans Day. Thanks to your support, they are 53% to that goal with 2 weeks to go. Think about this. The U.S. military is made up of 100% volunteers. These are men and women who willingly sacrifice everything they have for this country. When they're done serving, they return home to a tight job market and outrageous living expenses. That's why I'm so happy a private company like Pure Talk has jumped in to help. When you switch to Pure Talk's lightning-fast 5G network, they'll donate a portion of every new order to this noble cause. You can make a real difference just by choosing superior cell phone service. Pure Talk's plans start at just $20 a month, offering unlimited talk, text, more data, and a mobile hotspot. Just go to puretalk.com/Walsh and make the switch. Let's rally together and show unwavering support for our veterans. Visit puretalk.com/Walsh and switch to Pure Talk today. It's the right move, and it's the American way. That's puretalk.com/Walsh today. Grand Canyon University is an affordable private Christian university based in Phoenix, Arizona. They're dedicated to making education fit into your already busy schedule, which is why they offer 270 of their academic programs online. From scholarships to academic support, GCU's graduation team provides you with the personal support you need to obtain your goals. GCU's online programs offer you the freedom to earn your degree on your own time from wherever you are. GCU is praised for its culture of community, giving, and impact. They integrate the free market system and welcoming Christian worldview into all of their academic programs. Achieve your goals with a personalized plan and a supportive team behind you. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University, private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu. That's gcu.edu.
First off, let's just go ahead and disable that.
I mean, imagine going to the place. playground, okay? And you know, the excuse I always hear is, oh, well, it's fun. Adults are having fun. I don't care if adults are having fun. You're an adult. What kind of excuse is that? It's like if I go to the playground and imagine I go to the playground. My kid has to wait in line for the plastic slide because there's a whole line of middle-aged men on the slide that are using it. You know, I think I would be within my rights to be annoyed by that and to say, get the hell off the playground equipment. That's for kids. And I don't want to, you know, if they turn around and say, whoa, we're young at heart. No, you're not. You're 40. Go away. The adults are crowding the kids out of their own spaces, their own holidays, because the adults refuse to grow up. And my generation is the worst with this. Okay, we like refuse to relinquish anything. Comic books, superheroes, cartoons, Halloween. We won't give any of it up, right? We're going to bring all of that to the nursing home with us. We refuse to grow up. We just absolutely refuse because we don't understand that what the process here is that you enjoy things as a kid, you have your toys and all of your childlike fun, and then you have kids and you pass that on to them. You don't just cling on to it yourself your whole life. And then you get to relive it, okay? I get to relive Halloween. Like, Halloween's kind of fun now as a parent. Not because I'm going trick-or-treating, but because now I am experiencing it through my kids, okay? That is how it's supposed to work. Anyway, so let the kids dress up and have their fun. That's the end of that's my official Halloween speech for the, well, we've got still a week, so I've got more, there's more time for more speeches that we might get to. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out the Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. For our daily cancellation today, we consult Fortune magazine, which reports that Gen Z, according to research, may be psychologically scarred by high inflation. Even worse, says this research, the damage may be permanent. Reading on, Gen Z's early careers have been stifled by a number of challenges, from a once-in-a-generation pandemic and a war on European soil to spiraling living costs and recession fears that have led to widespread layoffs. But according to new research, the economic backdrop in which young people are entering the workforce could have a much deeper impact on Gen Z than a squeeze on their lifestyles. Dayo Ebinusawa, founder of London's Awa Business School and a former lecturer at Cambridge University's Judge Business School, told Fortune on Monday that the ongoing battle with inflation would have had a serious impact on the mindset of Gen Z workers, those aged 26 and under. Gen Z will be left with psychological scars from persistent inflation due to increased uncertainty and anxiety, he cautioned. A society where the young have little to no hope for the future is not a sustainable one. Not only will Gen Z be left with psychological scars, society at large will also feel the impact of those scars. So young people are not just dealing with a rocky economy, they are experiencing permanent psychological damage, a terminal loss of hope, and a profound sense of unease and anxiety. Now, of course, we hear a lot about the anxiety of Gen Z these days. In fact, The Hill just reported this month that Gen Z is the most anxious generation in history. And before Gen Z, we were told that millennials were the most anxious in history. Now, apparently, we have been unseated. We've been dethroned by Gen Z. Reading now from that report, a new report from data management firm Harmony Healthcare IT shows that 61% of Gen Z have a medically diagnosed anxiety condition. The report includes a survey of about 1,000 Gen Zers, or adults aged 18 to 26, who struggle with anxiety about their anxious thoughts. And while experiencing anxiety is nothing new for Gen Z, more than half of survey respondents, 54%, said their anxiety has been worse this year. And out of those with anxiety, 43% said they experience a panic attack at least once a month, if not more frequently. The most common cause of their anxiety, the future. Most of those surveyed have said the future was the biggest worry, while 45% said it was finances. Almost 1 in 3 Gen Zers surveyed with anxiety said they used medication to help them manage the symptoms. Okay, 61% have been medically diagnosed with anxiety disorder. So think about that for a second. That's a staggering number, 61%. That is how anxious these young people are. And many of them are having panic attacks once a month. I don't even know what a panic attack is. But they're having them all the time.
I don't know what this stuff
That's how anxious they are. It's how difficult their lives are, how terrible the situation that they find themselves in is. At least that's what we're supposed to believe anyway. And listen, there is no denying that the economy is in rough shape, right? Inflation is a major problem. The American dream is harder to attain for young people today than it was for boomers when they were this age. My parents' generation, they were able to trade like 2 pineapples and a bag of flour for a single family home with a half acre of land. And I may be slightly exaggerating, but the point is that a certain lifestyle was much easier to establish and maintain only a few decades ago. There's no denying that. And beyond the economy, it's also true that our culture is in bad shape. The situation abroad is even more volatile, and so on. So there are challenges. There are difficult challenges. Nobody can pretend otherwise. That said, there is a real tendency to grossly exaggerate the difficulties that we face today. And it's not just Gen Z. In fact, I recently saw a viral meme that was doing the rounds on Twitter, and it has this whole woe is me shtick, except for millennials. And the meme shows Matthew McConaughey puffing on a cigarette with a shell-shocked look on his face, along with the caption, "Millennials living through Y2K, 9/11, a plague, 2 economic recessions, and a possible World War III before they turn 40. Now, it's true that some of those things were hard. On the other hand, if you're including Y2K on your list of generational traumas, then it's clear that you're really trying to pad the stats, because Y2K is famous for being an occasion where literally nothing happened at all. As for the rest of it, some of it, 9/11 especially, also the government response to COVID, qualify as legitimately catastrophic. But if you take a couple of steps back, you can see that we have had it relatively easy by comparison. So consider, for example, that somebody born in 1910 would have, before retirement, lived through World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, the Spanish flu, the Cold War, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and a presidential assassination. That's only a partial list. Somebody born a century before that would have experienced 2 wars, or more like 20 wars if you count all the Indian wars individually, before the Civil War, in which 2.5% of the country's population died. 2.5%.